Oh, that's fine.
Here's somebody. Oh, it keeps going away there. Do you know who I am?
Esther.
Yes.
Oh, is that Esther?
Oh, my.
Yes.
I want to see Esther. This is Skip.
Why? Who's talking?
This is Skip.
Louder.
Oh, Skip. But we're having a hard time, huh?
Your face on
But I lost your picture again.
Oh, Skip, I'm dying to see you. Talk to you. Oh, you must be. Oh,
No.
this is,
What
Are we
happened?
supposed to share the screen?
Well, what you
Right,
can do,
yes.
I'm
Everybody.
that old guy in the corner there. There you go.
This
If
one?
you can, if you go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen and you
And
hit
push.
view, you can select gallery and that will.
No, wait. It doesn't say, no, the upper right-hand corner has a little figure, of a person.
And then
That's what
I see my name. So do you want people to go on
Oh, there you
so
are.
everyone's
with their picture?
I don't see anything that says,
Going away.
I hate this.
Maybe the camera.
You,
I
that's
hate
good for you.
Here, I'll
Good for
share
you.
my
Yeah.
screen. I'm going to share my screen for a minute and show you what it looks like and where you,
Skip, can you hear me?
I hear you.
You know, I got married.
I heard that.
Well, you're good. You did.
No,
I didn't have,
Yesterday.
I never
No,
had
that
a
was-
chance to.
I'm going to stop sharing.
That
I
was
heard you got married. I think you're back east somewhere, right?
I am. I'm in DC. You know, is this you, Skip, with the beard?
Yes, me.
Oh, Skip, can you see me?
Hi, Janet.
Can you see me?
this is,
see you.
I think it's Kara talking, right?
Yeah, it's Kira.
I can see you and you got married?
No, Esther got married.
Esther got
Oh,
married.
okay.
I still can't see Esther though. I don't worry. I
You
don't know
can't.
where you are.
Oh. What should I do? It says record. Let me see. What should I go back and start over? Who's a computer person? What should I do? Kara, could you see me?
I can't see you. No, I think you're
Oh,
not.
it's all audio. Okay. Well, I can see you.
Oh,
You look
good.
like a kid. You still look like a kid. You know that? All right. There's just
We're
a
gonna
little figure
try
of a. Can you figure this out?
Participate.
But I'm going to ask.
Here, I'm a
for some
computer.
help.
Here, I'm a computer person. What is the question?
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm asking what I should do because I can only see you, and you can't see me. It's I push that little thing and nothing happens. See,
Okay,
nothing
so
Here,
goes
now-
you
up.
have to sit here. Your picture's gonna go on.
Now I see other
Oh,
people.
I see Carol. Hi, Carol.
So is that Kara? I see Kara on here.
Yeah, I'm right here.
This is Kira. But Carol, is that
Carol is
Carol?
there too.
Your mom?
Kara, hi, Kara.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
You guys flash
you
in and
can't
out.
see me, huh? Well, I don't know. Should I go back? Record.
Is your video, and which is typically on the lower left-hand corner, there's a stop video or.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it came up for a
Or
second.
start
It went
video.
away.
So
Yeah, it went away. I see. I do. It says start video, but
Oh.
You know what? But
So
if
start your
you've got
video.
it-
Yeah, if you start
if-
your video, then we can see you.
I got a whole bunch of people now. Let me see.
Is it on their pictures? Oh, good.
Oh, I
will
still don't
also
find
have-
Esther.
it
Where's
will
I can't
also
believe
help-
this. Unable to access camera.
Esther, you're not on somewhere. Your picture.
I know. Unable to access camera. Allow Zoom to access your camera from, okay.
Oh, yeah, allow Zoom.
I did everything I could do.
So you'll just be an audio. We can still hear you and you'll be able to see everything. And
Well, okay, let's see.
that's okay. And I suggest that everybody mute themselves and only Kira stays so that we don't confuse.
But it says start video here. I have it now. I pushed it, but it's got a red line through it. So
So
it's not letting me,
hit it again and it will enable your video.
okay. Wait, I have to wait for it to pop up again. It just comes up and goes away.
It's
Yeah.
about.
Isn't that weird? You see, it says start video, but sometimes, but then sometimes it goes away.
This is the.
You know,
Oh.
the disc-
Bill hated computers and now we know
Yeah,
why.
want to be able to talk.
Share screen. Oh, how about share screen?
Oh, no, please don't.
No, don't do that. Okay. get it. Why is it not doing this?
So that's
The
okay.
pain.
We
No,
hear you
I
and you can hear us, and that's good enough.
to see you though. but-
No, well, Skip wants to see me. At least one person wants to see me. Okay, well, oh, this is terrible. No, I'm sorry. I just want to, all right.
For old people.
I pushed it. What does share screen mean? Why shouldn't I push it?
Don't share screen.
Oh, dear.
I'm pushing start video and it won't let me do anything.
The Karmazin.
Wait a minute after you do start video.
Okay, I pushed it and pushed it. Now everybody's gone away. All right, it's okay. We'll just leave it. Skip, you don't get to see me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so
I'm,
bummed.
I am saddened by that, by the way.
I
so.
really, I cannot tell you. It says iPad, no, it says iPad 2. I'm not on an iPad. Why does it say iPad 2 if I'm not on an iPad? Where's the computer guy?
Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Melissa.
Don't worry about what he said. We hear you, and that's all that counts.
Okay.
Let me tell you, you could always hear her. She was the head of the class.
Hi,
You hear that?
Melissa.
You can't hear it, can you?
Hi,
What did he just say?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well, Esther, I'm sorry we can't get your video on, but I
I
still
am
can see
too.
us though, right? So
You what?
you can see us. So,
I can. Yes, I can.
well, I'll just give a little bit of an introduction. Desiree is Bill's granddaughter, and she is hosting this for us. Thank you so much, Desi.
Oh.
And
Hi,
I
everyone.
thank
I'm
all of
Desiree.
you.
Hi, Desiree. Oh, Bill
gathered
talked
here
about you.
today.
So proud of you.
For gathering
She's a
today
doll.
to
It's just here.
celebrate the life, Bill's
Went
life.
away again.
I am here with John, Curtis, Patty, Sarah, my daughter, Grace, Maria, and Ken, my fiance. And so we have a small
Oh.
group here, and we're all masked up except for me because I don't think you can hear me. So I'm sitting
Oh,
further
good. Oh, that's great. That's good.
but we wanted to gather together. So it's strange to do a celebration of life on video virtually, but we're just thrilled that you all could gather with us today. We've put together a video of Dad's life, and it was really a beautiful experience to put it together. Desiree combed through thousands of photos. And we have a montage beginning maybe 2 or 3 years old and ending at his 85th birthday. It's edited, so it's not every single photo. It's just highlights of his life. One of the things that became clear to me, and I'm sure it will to you, is how much he loved to travel.
Yeah.
My goodness, Nat, you and I were on the phone.
It's okay.
You
How
had
much we
said
love
you
to
had
travel.
wanted
You
to
should hear it. It's beautiful. It's all right.
travel
She
to
knows
100 countries in his lifetime. By the year 2012, he had visited 120. So he exceeded that goal, and I'm sure he probably got a few more in after that. So there are photos at all these places throughout the world. We didn't add comments or anything. We didn't highlight or call out names, or Skip, you'll see yourself at a young age and you'll see yourself later. There's Don Van Sickle at 15, maybe, and then Don Van Sickle later in life. It's just really beautiful. There are photos of our family when we were younger. There are photos of anyway, I think you'll enjoy it. And I also have, let's see, on this video, we also have his daughters, Laura and Lisa, zooming in as well. His nieces, Rochelle and Melissa, are here. Joel, I see you. Pat, I see you too. Dan, thank you. Richard, so good to see you. Ron, I'm so glad you could jump on. Wonderful. Yes. Sophia, I didn't see you there.
Is that Richard Wright?
Yeah, Richard Wright is here, and Bill's
Hi, Richard.
This
is Esther. Audio.
Deepak, wonderful to see you. There's a beautiful photo of you at the very last few months when he was visiting, or I think about a year ago. Oh, Cameron's on there too. Hi, Cameron. So good to see you, his grandson and Pat. Lily girl. Wonderful. So it was just a beautiful gathering. I think I've called out everyone, and Esther is on there as well. So without further ado, I will play the video. I hope this runs smoothly. Afterwards, I think Desiree, if you don't mind hosting, just seeing if people wanted to share memories and share stories and of their memories with Dad. Okay.
Of course, thank you. Just to let everyone know, during the duration of the video, I will be manually muting everyone, just so we don't run the risk of having an echo or some technical difficulties with sound. So you will be muted for the duration of the video.
Okay, and let me just pull up the video and then I will share my screen. And
Where did she go?
Kira, you'll need to unmute yourself.
and then share my screen. And okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. All right, and you can move it to presenter view, and I think it can fill your screen. All right, here we go. Okay, it's not working. I was like, this is not working. I should have tried it out a few times. It's not working though, is it?
People and come back into the stadium. They had a football field there, around there. And he's the number 2 guy by a whole football field. And so I got a medal for my veteran sweater. It's a
That's quite a spread.
Well, and your father.
My father, he didn't even, he had diabetes and alcohol problem. And he declined his sugar and it's not very good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. He was pretty happy with the long time. He was doing his drink a sip. His father died at 49. Carolinas, which is a rupture of the headache. His father, my great grandfather, died at 113. And he smoked a corn cob every day. He drank his own brandy. And my great grandfather came over from Czechoslovakia as a brandy maker and started the Karmazin brandy company in Nebraska. And he made brandy for a living, and so he drank it every night. And he made it 113. So I don't make brandy. I gotta figure out something else to do. Yeah. My sister was a good winemaker, but not me. So longevity runs in the family. You never know when you look at a Karmazin how long you're going to be around. It could be a long, long time. Yeah.
Jamaica Wish?
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Really beautiful.
This is Esther. It's just a wonderful, wonderful video. It really is.
And can I say something? Bill had a happy life. And I'm so happy. He was so good to everybody else. And I know he's in heaven now and looking down and watching all of you. And listen, we all had wonderful times with him. He was a lot of fun, so intelligent, and had so many interests. Thank you for putting this video together.
Here, here.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
So at this time, we invite anyone who feels compelled to share whatever anecdote or stories you have of Grandpa Bill. I think we would
How
all
do I-
really please feel free. Feel free.
You want to do here? Huh?
I'm sure lots of people would like to say their stories, are afraid to to share them at this time, I guess. I'll give you a little bit of it. Bill and I knew each other. This is Deepak. So if I may, give me a few minutes to talk about Bill.
Oh, thank you. Is that Michelle? Yeah.
Deepak.
Oh, it's Deepak. It's Deepak.
Yes.
Oh, Deepak.
Yeah. So Bill and I went back. I live here on the East Coast now in Falls Church. And Bill and I knew each other for over, I think, 25 years or so. I met him in San Diego, of course, where I used to work in one of the companies. And through Ron, who was missing in action here today for some reason.
I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here.
you're there. Oh, Ron.
I just can't be seen. My camera's not working. Sorry. Go ahead. Dee.
Oh, you want to be stealthy? Okay, that's all right. So Ron and Bill and I, and sometimes there were other people. You know, we love to go out and eat, and so we would hang out at Pacific or Del Mar or at Bully's. I don't know if anybody remembers those restaurants or not, but
Oh, yes, yes,
and our approach was to not spend a lot of money. So we would go and you know, in Pacific or Del Mar, they would have the happy hour times, and we'd sit at the bar, and for $10 or $15, you know, we'd be doing really good with a couple of beers or whatever drinks. And our salmon was very famous over there. We enjoy that food. Then when we'd get tired of that, we'd go to Bully's. And
The hamburger?
Oh yeah, no. I think we would have the what is the special dish that they make over there? But
Prime rib.
prime rib. That's it. Thank you. So we would have prime rib, and my wife would join at times, and other times we just were all single male people hanging out and talking macho stuff. And part of the conversation always had to do with, you know, with what we did and how, since Bill was older than us, both Ron and I, we would listen to what Bill had to say, and he was always on the dot in guiding us and telling us, you know, things as to what we should avoid, what we shouldn't avoid, since he was much more experienced than we were. So he was like a confidant to me.
Oh, okay.
And then
Maybe it's
and
on again.
around 2006, we moved to Falls Church from San Diego. And he would call me up and he'd say, "Oh, Deep," you know, he would call me Deep for short for Deepak. And he'll say, "Hey, Deep, you know, I'm coming over. I'd love to see you if you have the time." I said, "Bill, what kind of question is that? I always have time for you."
Pick up that cord again.
So he'd show up at the house and we would get together with another friend, John Stevens, who passed away, I think, a couple of years ago. I don't know who knew. Do you know, Kara? John Stevens?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's all right. I think Ron knows. Ron, do you know John?
Sarah does. Sarah knows him.
Right. So we all three would go out and hang out together at times. And if I'm boring you, let me know. I'll stop. Okay, I got lots of stories to tell, but that's all right. And another, so we'd hang out, and John would chauffeur him around because he didn't like to drive. So John had his car. He'd stay in Crystal City and come over to the house. We'd go and get on the boat. I have a
Maybe I can do
small
it
party
another.
boat,
I don't think this is-
and we'd get on the boat and enjoy going around the lake and come back and have a few drinks more, and then he'd go, mosey back home. So this was our normal thing, to hang out and just, talk about things of the past and in the future. He always talked to me about traveling to India, since I was born in India and migrated here a long time ago. So and we made plans to do that together, but unfortunately that never materialized. Now he would beat me to it, of course, every time that he was going to travel, and I always had an excuse, and he never did. So he always went, and I stayed back. Our plan was one of these days to go out, but instead what we would do is to go to Indian restaurants here in DC, and we'd enjoy that food. I think Crystal City, we had Indian restaurants.
Do it again. No, it's okay.
The last time when he came was with Patty, right? Patty, are you here?
She's
Patty?
here. Yeah, he can hear
Yes,
you.
I'm here.
Okay. Hope you remember me. I remember you well. So when he came, and she was here with us.
Good, Jojo.
I'm sorry? Yeah, so I took him to this famous restaurant called Peking Duck. It's in Falls Church. It's a hangout of the Bushes family, when he was here in DC. Both the elder Bush and the younger Bush, they would hang out along with other people. So I think if Patty would remember, we had a very nice lunch together, and because he was leaving for his birthday, like celebrations. Is that right, Patty? Right?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, he was going to Italy.
Oh, right.
Is that right?
Girabella.
Yes. And so I said, okay, well, you better have a good time. And I think he liked to have some champagne. So we enjoyed a couple of bottles of champagne, and we were like 3-4 hours over there. And then Patty's son came in, and he wasn't there for lunch, but definitely got to see him as well. So that was the last time I saw Bill. And then I talked to him by phone, and he was doing okay, but I wasn't sure that he was getting a little treatment once in a while in the hospital. He had told me that prior to coming to, I think, to DC, that he was in the hospital for a little while, and then he was fine. And so I wished him well. And then, anyways, to make the story short, he and I enjoyed a lot of good times together with my wife and with the family. And I definitely would miss him dearly.
Deepak, this
Yes.
is Esther. Do you remember me, Esther? He brought me, he
Yes.
flew, Bill
Yes.
flew
Where
all
are
the way
you?
from San Diego
Right.
to DC
Right.
just to go to your party.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah. I forgot to tell you, that was a funny story.
That was
Would you like me to complete that, Esther?
Yes, I would.
Oh, yes, yes. So what happened was that we had planned to get together in DC, and then we were going to have this function at my house, and for some reason we had to cancel it. But he had bought the tickets to come to DC already. So he called me up. Well, I called him. I said, Bill, I have to cancel this thing because of ABCD reason, whatever. I can't remember the reason. But it was, he says, oh, that's too bad because I was hoping to see you. And Esther was going to join and all that. I said, oh, okay. So I said, look, we can have the function with you two guys. but it was nice to see him then, definitely. I haven't
But
seen,
there were-
are you still here in DC area, Esther?
I am. Yes, I am. You know, you had other people there though, too.
Did I? I can't
Yeah,
remember. I can't
there were a few, yeah, there were about 10, 12 people.
Oh, okay, so I did have a function for him then.
And I remember I brought Erin, remember? My
Oh,
young
yes,
friend,
Yes, yes.
that darling girl. Yeah, we had a great
yes,
time.
she's a financial person, I remember.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we had a
Mhm.
great time. Oh, he had a wonderful time.
Yeah, I think it was it winter or summer?
It was neither. It was like a spring, I think. But we
Okay.
went on your
Did
we went
you
on
go
your
the
boat.
Did you go on the boat?
We went on the boat. Oh, it was great. First of
Oh.
all, you all
Oh.
should see this house. It's the most magnificent house I've ever seen. It is
Oh.
absolutely
Well, thank
magnificent,
you.
and it's on a wonderful. Is that a lake?
Yes.
It's just. Anyway, the whole evening was
Well,
great.
any, Karmazin family or his friends are welcome. If you're in DC, look me up or call me, or I think
I will. I got married though. You need to know that. I got married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I
Wonderful.
didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I was planning to have a champagne. Maybe I'll have some now.
It's great to talk to you. I wish my camera worked.
Yeah, it probably will
I
eventually
could
when we're done with this thing.
Well, those
Yeah,
were wonderful.
thank you, Esther.
stories.
Yeah, definitely. Give me a call. I still have your phone number, I believe.
Good. Then you call.
I'll call you. Let me
Good.
just look it up. Yeah, go ahead,
Great.
please. I don't want to take up the whole.
My number is still San Diego 619-208-4888.
I have it, Esther.
They're great stories. Oh yeah, he adored you. He really did. You go. I know you do.
Yeah, we go a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Ron and I used to hang out always.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Too bad.
Hey, Deepak, I don't know if you remember, I'll just pile on top of your story about us going out for an occasional happy hour over at the Pacifica Cafe. I remember, I don't know if you remember there was one night we went over there, and I
Right.
think it was around this time of the year, I think, but it was, and it was a happy hour, and there was all this food laid out, and the place was packed, and there were people imbibing, and it was a big crowd, and we were we took plates and we started helping ourselves, and they brought us drinks, and everything was wonderful, and we were having this fantastic time. And at the end, we turned around and asked, okay, where's our bill? And they said, oh, aren't you with the group? And it turned out it was Callaway Golf.
Yes, I remember that one.
They were having a big Christmas party or some party. And
Right.
essentially they bought us our dinner and everything for
I think I
that
was
one
muted,
night.
so I
And
unmuted.
we walked out, and as we started to leave, I said, isn't this great, Bill? We got a free evening out. And his response was, wait a minute, I think I own stock in Callaway. What are they're spending my money on this?
Yes, I remember that, Ron. That was an awesome time. Yeah. I remember we almost we were there in the back room. I think we got seated or something, if I recall correctly. Normally it was a very packed restaurant that day, and I think I remember that. It was fun. Yeah, right. Got a free meal. Anyways.
Well, I could talk for quite
Yeah,
some time.
keep
about
going,
Bill,
Ron. Keep
but
going, Ron.
I'd rather other people speak, but I'm Ron Turatola, and all I can say is, I met Bill, it's got to be 1980, 83, 84, when he came to work at Interstate Electronics, and I was just a pup, and I was just learning the ropes. And so anyway, I've known him for quite some time, and I got there's a lot of adventures and a lot of stories, but other people should share what they've got too at this point.
Yes, it'd be nice to hear other people.
This is Skip. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
Skip. Yes.
Let me go back to early. I met Bill. He went to Groveslot High School. I went to Point Loma.
Yes, you did.
Esther as well, and also our good friend Frank Asaro, who has passed, and also a dear friend of Bill's.
Now,
Anyway, Bill
who-
Bill was one of in Dukes, and that was a social club,
Uh-huh.
and they were going to put on a dance. And I went to Point Loma, and I belonged to a dance band. So I got this good-looking big guy coming over to Point Loma. We want to hire you guys to, be in the dance, to provide the music. So that's why I first met him. And very interesting guy, very popular. I quickly found out he was a chick magnet, so that was always good. And I'll tell you about that in Miami in a minute.
Right.
Then we graduated, and we met again in San Diego State College.
Yep.
And we both pledged the Pi KA fraternity.
Honey.
So did Frank Asaro. Anyway,
More later.
that was a 1 year, and we had a great time. And Bill came over to my house one day. It was a summer after the first year at San Diego State. And he said, Skip, what are you guys up to? What are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to the University of Miami. I got a scholarship there, and we're going to go there and leave here in about a week. He says, really? Yeah. He said, well, I'd like to go with you. And he says, do you think I can? And I said, I don't know. So he called up the school, and he said, we told what kind of grades he had. He was a good student, obviously. And he said, yeah, if your grades are what you said you are, that'll be great. So we jumped in. I had a 1950 Ford Coupe. And
Nice car.
it was a nice car, but it was somewhat old. Anyway, we got in and we drove to Miami, Florida. Actually, Coral Gables is where the university is. It took us 66 hours. We never stopped except for gasoline and something to eat.
Oh,
Because we had to go all the way across. Texas like is one day all by itself. And we had to get down to Miami, which is to the end of the peninsula. So we get there at about 4:00 in the morning. That day we had to register. But we're dead tired, so I fell asleep in the parking lot. All of a sudden, about 8:00, we hear this wild, crazy noise. And it was the marching band, practicing in the parking lot. Scared the hell out of us, but we later laughed about it. And there was a majorette there. She ended up being the majorette of America or whatever, which of course Bill ended up going with her. Not surprising anybody. But we had a great time there. I, as I said, played saxophone and clarinet. The Fontainebleau Hotel opened up just about 3 or 4 months before we got there. And it's a magnificent hotel. It still is, I understand.
yeah, it is.
And so we were going to play a dance there that night. And Bill said, yeah, I'd like to go with you, and I'll socialize, meet people. So, and I mentioned I played sax and clarinet. Well, the clarinet folds up into a little suitcase-like thing, which is about 8 inches tall by maybe 12 inches wide. So here's this big guy carrying this little tiny suitcase-like instrument, so we could smuggle him in the back way into where the dance was going to be. We figured he'd pick up some girls for us after, and we could have a good time. So anyway, here comes it. We all laughed at how funny he looked carrying this little tiny instrument, and Bill and I would laugh about that many years later. But that was and then we had a lovely time in Miami, and then we came back to San Diego State to graduate later. Interesting connection a little bit is that for some reason, Grossmont and Point Loma interconnected. I know that Esther had mentioned and Frank Asaro was from that.
Oh, that's right.
And then I ended up dating a girl in Grossmont. So it was a funny world in that regard. And then later in life, Bill and I worked together in real estate for a while. And then we did a lot of different things in that regard. And I remember he started working in the organizations where they had a lot of secret things going on. And I remember being interviewed one day by the FBI and checking out Bill, I guess, for some security clearance. And it first scared the hell out of me what the FBI was talking to me about. But he was a good friend forever. And later in life in La Jolla, we lived next door to each other in some condos. In fact, where he still lived. So I saw him quite often for many years, and he's a dear friend. I miss him. It breaks my heart to see him pass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good, Skip.
Yeah.
I can't see you, by the way.
Oh, you can't see me?
No, I see three people.
Me on the.
Carol.
I see me in my upper left, and I see all the people that have spoken so far. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see you. Is this Carol?
I am. I can
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, you just waved. I see you. I don't know why you don't see me.
You just drank water.
I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, good. I'd like to go back to the 60s and just talk about a time when we moved to New Hampshire from San Diego, and Bill had to find a house without me. So what he found was a fabulous farmhouse. It had 7 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Every bedroom had a fireplace.
Oh, nice.
And on this, it's 110 acres. It was just a fabulous time. And on this property was a tractor that was left behind. And he saw me trying desperately to dig a garden. And it was pathetic. So he decided to try and see if this tractor worked. It did. And he plowed 1 acre. And we had a 1 acre garden. And he helped pick all the seeds. It was extremely productive. The kids sold a bunch of things on the road. And I learned how to can. I took a ton of vegetables to the school where the kids were going to school. It was really a fun time. Anyway, another thing he did that, as I was thinking about different things during that time, also I was weaving. I learned how to weave. But besides that, I made him a pair of pants. Can you imagine? Of funny little brocade type of material. I mean, I still can't believe I made them. And he came home from some business trip. He said, oh, I gave them to him. He says, oh, nice. And he wore them. Not out, but he wore them around the house. Nice. I later thought that was pretty good of him. Anyway, I have lots of fond memories.
Oh, yeah.
Was this Carol in New Hampshire, you said?
Pardon me?
Was this in New Hampshire, you said?
Oh, yeah, New Hampshire. Yeah, he worked in Mason.
I didn't know he'd ever lived in New Hampshire.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Sure is, yeah.
We didn't live there long, but it was fun.
How long did you?
I don't know, just a couple of years. The kids and I learned how to ski.
Yeah, oh, great. Yeah. He talked about living, I just didn't know where.
Pardon me?
He did talk about living in the East. When I moved East, he talked about living in the East also at one time in his life. And I think that was it.
Well, it's certainly not a bad thing to do.
No, he loved it. No, he said he really loved it. Yeah. He loved the area.
And just the restaurants along the seacoast of Maine, and oh my God, fresh lobster and
oh my,
wonderful. He many times brought home live lobsters.
Oh, how nice.
I took care of him and served him. That was quite a feat. But Maine lobsters are a whole lot different than what we get out here in California.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great story.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So this is Lisa, his daughter, and when my mom was talking about New Hampshire, it reminded me of something that was really sweet that happened later when I was in college. I was in graduate school, in Rhode Island. And I had one of those, like a breast scare where the doctors found a lump and, they had to, go in there and remove it. But, it was probably fine. And I told him about it and he said, that's okay. I'm going to come out. And I said, no, it's okay, Dad. You really don't. It's not a big deal. It's probably nothing. But he got on a plane and he flew out there and stayed, in a hotel and was with me during the whole procedure. They put me out, I had to fall asleep, but they did it and took me home and took care of me. And we hung out for a few days and he brought me to that house in New Hampshire. We drove there. I remember I had stitches. It was really sore in the car because bouncing, and I was like, this better be worth it. So we went there and I couldn't believe how small the house looked to me as an adult compared to when I was a child. Because when I was a child, that house looked like a mansion. I remember running up the stairs forever. And, I had so many memories of the big main room where he had the lobsters, and it felt like that room was enormous to me because I was so little. But then, so then when we went there, I remember, it's a big house. It wasn't small, but just the scale.
What is this? What does that mean? Hold and accept. Okay.
What?
Was someone talking?
Yeah.
I think it was Michelle.
Oh yeah. It was just a really beautiful house. Like when we went back there later when I was an adult, it looked the same. It just looked different to me. And the land around it was everything looked the same. I have pictures. I should have given them to Desiree of us when I was in college in front of the house. Because it
was the barn still there? Was the barn still there?
I don't remember.
He said hold and accept, and now the voice is really low.
Anyway, it was just.
See, that shows you.
When you were
Shows
talking.
me.
Anyway, that's all. There's just that house has a lot of memories, Mom. It was a good time. It was the first time we learned how to ice skate, I think, right? On the pool, the frozen pool.
The reason I asked about the barn being there reminded me again of why we had such a fantastic garden, because in the barn was tons and tons and tons of cow manure.
That was a fun house.
And we also had a cranberry bog on the property. You guys would run out and play. No one had to worry about you getting into mischief, and all I did was whistle
on the way back.
Come back, and you screamed back because you didn't know how to whistle. So I was on your way back. Good years. We had 2 pot bellies.
Whoa, calm down, George.
There's some interference, looks like.
Whoever put the video together did a fabulous job. Those pictures are outrageous. I can't believe there were so many that you gathered up.
Oh, they're wonderful, wonderful.
Desiree, did you do that?
No,
Yes.
my Aunt Kira did it, but I did cherry pick a lot of those photos from Grandpa Bill's albums. You guys will, you'll probably believe it, but I was quite shocked to find that he had 21 albums curated throughout the years, separated by decade. They were absolutely incredible. And although I knew Grandpa Bill had traveled extensively, it was something else to really flip through those pages and see everything that he saw, and the stories that he told me throughout the years started to take shape in a different way. And I always retold stories that Grandpa Bill told me to all my friends and to anyone who didn't meet him. and I was trying to describe him, I would always say that my grandpa Bill was like the real James Bond. And, and I really felt that that was true. I still do. And in that video, I don't know if you guys saw, but there are several where Grandpa Bill is next to his convertible, his black convertible. I think it was a Jaguar.
Yes.
It was a Jaguar. Yes.
Yeah. And I remember he loved driving in that car. And on my 21st birthday, I don't know if you all know, but Grandpa Bill and I were very close in terms of our birthdays. He was born on the 18th and I was born the 10th. And it was always something he brought up because we were both Virgos. And on my 21st birthday, he drove out to La Mesa, which is where I was living at the time in San Diego. It's like a 30-minute drive maybe from La Jolla, but he drove all the way out there. He picked me up in his convertible Jag with the top down. We drove on the 8 freeway and it was just this beautiful day. He took me to Coronado. He'd made a reservation for us at some really nice restaurant right on the water. And that home meal, Grandpa Bill was instructing me on how to order a martini, which wine is the best wine, how to scale the degrees of wine from white and red. We finished off with a flight of ports. I did leave that dinner a little bit tipsy. He drove me home, but I really felt like he helped me ring in a chapter in my adulthood, and I never forgot it. It was like it's a beautiful memory that I keep close.
What a great story.
I love it. So seeing those photos of him in that Jaguar are like very touching.
Yeah, I remember the Jaguar. Does he still have it, or did he dispose it?
He sold it, I think, didn't he? I remember he told me that. Yeah.
He put it out in La Jolla at a place where they were selling cars and it sold immediately.
Yeah, it sold like in about 8 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that vehicle. Ron, do you remember that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know how he got it, right? You told him?
No, go ahead. Tell us the story.
That Jaguar was very, very special.
Yeah.
That Jaguar was very, very special. We were coming back from Julian and he had 2 calls that people wanted to buy it. And I said, well, I will be very sad, but if it gets a good home, we'll all be happy. Well, we got back to La Jolla and in an hour, that Jaguar was sold. He had 2 people. He didn't have any problem selling it. And it did go to a beautiful home where this individual has all of these Jags, and it's perfect for our Jaguar, but it did have a great, great story and a great home.
Ron, you were going to tell us how you bought it, right?
I'm on, but I think is Dan Pressman's on. I think Dan also worked with Bill during that time. I don't know if, but this had to do with, I guess, the time he was working at Cubic, right?
Right.
And that car was kind of a perk that he ended up getting as a result of the outstanding performance that he had while he was working at the company over a period of time. And I don't know if it was direct from Mr. Zabel. I don't know how it worked, but he ended up using that as his car, and it was just, at least to hear him tell the story, it was, he had a choice, but I don't think anybody was. I think he was probably not going to be allowed to buy a Ferrari, which would have been his first choice probably at that time. So anyway, that represented, I think, a milestone for him working professionally. And he really treasured it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know Zabel was going to be that generous to. Zabel is he's passed. He was the owner of Cubic Corporation, for those who don't know, where Bill worked for a number of years with Ron, and I came in there toward the trailing edge of that time in 1996. So that's when Ron and I met. Well, actually, that's when I met Bill and Ron.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to say, I want to be sure I say this before this is over, and that is that, you know, I work with Bill on, you know, 2 different companies, and professionally we had a very good relationship, but you meet people in life, and some of them, you know, there's a lot of people you meet, but I think you end up with maybe a handful of people, maybe
I just forgot.
a few people who
She's upstairs.
actually impact your life and really
Okay.
mean something to you as far as your life. I mean, he if it weren't for Bill, I probably wouldn't have gotten as far as I got in my life, working with in 2 different companies. He looked out for me. He was a professional, he was an associate, he was a good friend, and he was a mentor as well. And he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to, and he did this with a lot of junior people I noticed during his career when he was managing. He gave people opportunity, and that's not necessarily the rule. That's kind of the exception. So I always look back and you know, of course I'm like everybody, I'm going to miss Bill a lot, but he's one of those people who you know, meant a lot to me in my life. There's a lot of funny stories, of course, come up, but I always think back to, and he was always good whenever we met and went out to lunch. He would definitely give me the status of, you know, how Kira's doing at Lord and Taylor, and how Lisa's doing, and he was always very kind to me about just about everything. When I started working with Cubic, I think I recall I was working with Cubic for a while, and I didn't have a place to stay in San Diego, and he would always say, well, you could use my place, because he was obviously constantly traveling. And he would just say, you know, use my place. I'm going to be gone for a week. I'll give you the key, watch the place. I just need you to do 2 things. I need you to water the plants, and I need you to feed the cat, Jason, at that time, I believe. And it was, you know, be sure those are done. And then I think Jason ended up migrating to Texas or something, or going to be with his, I think ended up being with his daughter Sarah. So eventually he didn't have need for me to pat him. But I have nothing but fond memories of it, of you know, the experience with him. So I got to hear a lot of details, and he loved the whole family. And again, he would occasionally give me the highlights of what was going on, and it was kind of fun. I think Kira and I met when I was at Interstate Electronics. I think she was just doing undergrad work at that time, but I don't know, maybe even younger, but it was just a great experience to have known him.
Yeah, here.
I have some great memories of Dad. I'll go back to that car quickly. I remember I was up in Oregon, and he gave me a call and said, you know what? Walter's buying me new Jaguar. I won the bet. Well, I guess it was, he won a contract. But I remember how special that car was for him. He said, hey, do you know, didn't you go to school with Lori Cushman? And her dad owns the Jag dealership here in San Diego. You can give me her number? Sure enough, he ordered up the car, and a few months later it shows up. Couldn't believe it. Another big memory. We were driving down the 5, and it was just past downtown. Right as you get past the S turns, it starts to straighten out before 32nd Street. A big roll of carpet flew off the back of a truck, and he just looked at me and said, hold on tight. We had the top down, and luckily the carpet came perpendicular to the car. We hit that thing. We were up above the cars next to us, and that was the total James Bond. I've never experienced anything as scary as that in my life. The car landed perfectly. I'm sure some of you guys have heard that story, Skip, Nat, Richard. But that was a heck of a doozy. And it sure showed how strong those cars were built. Also, the memories in New Hampshire were just amazing. I still have memories going up to the trees. And remember, John and I would go with Dad and pick up all the maple sap so Mom could make pure maple syrup. Man, that stuff was so good.
Oh,
Really
wonderful.
I remember some of the trips out to the coast. Those were terrific. You know, another really fun thing. I think meeting him for lunches when he was at Cubic, whether it was Bully's, Felipe's, sometimes for happy hours after work, they'll meet up with some of you guys, whether it was over at La Valencia or Pacifica in Del Mar. Those were some good times. Man, he sure had a knack for putting together amazing, amazing meals.
Yes.
I could go on and on and on.
Joe,
I think
what's
we
going
should
on
let
there?
some other people share some feelings.
I can jump in before we do that. I was just thinking about all the travels Dad and I have had. We've had some really amazing trips, but I was for some reason thinking about one trip when Dad visited in New York. I was living there, and Josh, my husband, who's on here somewhere, that was the first time they met. We just had a great time. It was around Halloween. I think it actually was Halloween. And we just had a really packed weekend. We went to this tiny little jazz club in the East Village, and we saw some, I think they were Tuvan throat singers from like the plains. And what else did we do? We went to see a tiny little production of Titus Andronicus. Dad loved Shakespeare, and we went to see Titus Andronicus on Halloween, which is one of the bloodiest, goriest Shakespeare plays. We had a great time. We went to a lot of fun restaurants, and those are just some of the best memories I have with him, or, fun times, not just the big travels, but those kind of small memories, going to little holes in the wall, trying all sorts of interesting foods, cooking together in the kitchen. Those kind of repeat memories where we had a lot of those experiences. So,
Auntie Sarah, a lot of the photos I saw in the album were you.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'm passing to Patty actually.
Okay.
You want to put yours on mute, and then I'll pass it on to Patty.
And unmute. Okay, Patty, go ahead.
This has been wonderful seeing so many of Bill's very, very special friends. Bill was a man of all seasons. I was fortunate enough to meet him when I was 14 years old. And from that time on, we sort of had a mystic relationship, but it took 61 years before we connected again. Of course, our mothers knew each other. My husband knew him at Cubic, and we had some absolutely marvelous times the last 10 years. There wasn't anybody that could take a meal and just turn it into something absolutely fabulous. His travels, as you've all heard, he enjoyed every single minute of traveling and every minute of life. Even to the end, he was still planning and thinking about all the things that he could possibly do. What a beautiful family that he has, and what love he's given to each one of them in their way, and each to us. He was truly a man of all seasons, and we will miss him greatly. It's great seeing so many of you on the video that I did have the opportunity to meet through Bill. God bless you all, and we will keep him in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Patty. Thank you, Patty. If anyone else would like to share, please feel free, don't feel shy. If not, I think that I will hand the torch over to Auntie Kira, and we will commence a toast to Grandpa Bill.
Just very quickly, I was talking to my son who happened to meet Bill. My son is, he's 28 years old and he works now for Hopkins in Baltimore. So he and I were talking last night and I said, you know, tomorrow, he was asking me what I was doing tomorrow or today. I said, I'll be, you know, attending Bill's memories Zoom meeting. And he says, what happened to Bill? I said, he passed away. He said, oh no, are you kidding me? So I brought it up only because he would always leave a lasting impression with everybody he met, including my son or my both sons. So there you are. Thanks, Desiree.
Thank you so much, Deepak.
Can
Auntie
I-
Kira?
I'm sorry.
See.
Sophia, please. Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so me and my cousin Gracie, we're like the same age basically. So we would always sleep over at Grandpa's house together when I would come out to visit because I'm on the East Coast too. And every single time that we would sleep at his house, we would go through all of his photo albums and just like look at all of our parents and our uncles and even like our cousins when we were so much younger. And it was literally like our favorite pastime to do at his house because he didn't have a TV. So like that's what we would do when he was at his house, when we were at his house, and just like look at everyone. And it was so like the best time ever.
Oh, that's great, Sophia.
I think we have Michelle on the line. Michelle, did you want to say something?
Yeah, this is Michelle Strout, and I was a great friend of Bill for quite a long time. And I met him a long time ago with my best friend. So we used to get together to restaurants up in North County, in a French restaurant, about once or twice a month. And then the last time I saw him, we were at a little restaurant down the street from where he lived, was called the something house, the public house.
Oh,
And-
hamburgers.
Well, yeah, the waitress recognized him, and he said, "You're gonna have a hamburger," and but we had fish tacos together, and so that was wonderful to be with him on that time. And the other time I saw him was his last birthday party on Girard at a Thai restaurant. And he really insisted on seeing me, so I did come over. And because of the COVID, I was a little leery about going inside. But anyway, I met with him and his friends, and we had a nice meal together. But and then we walked back to his house, and everything was clean. He described me how his life was going on, and that someone was taking care of him, and then a local restaurant was bringing food daily. And this was the last time. Jean-Claude Ben-Simon and I and Bill, we used to meet together. Jean-Claude Ben-Simon passed away too about 6 years ago. But we were good friends, really nice circle. And he also came to my birthday parties. So, but unfortunately, I didn't see him again lately because I was in the hospital myself. But I'm okay now. I'm all right. And so I will miss him. I will miss meeting him once or twice a month. and just chat, as guys talk about things, and the past life and the travel. Oh my God, he used to talk about his traveling all the time, particularly when he was in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Oh, he was so proud of it. And I saw some pictures of him with his sons in Zimbabwe. What a wonderful time he had. What an explorer. But we both have that same time. I went to Vietnam about 12 years ago. And I believe he talked to me about going to Vietnam with his youngest daughter. And how much of a wonderful time. Anyway, this is Michel Strout, and I will miss him like I miss so many of my friends. God bless Bill. See you in heaven. Bye-bye.
Wow. Lovely.
That was nice.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Can I just say one more thing? I think everybody who knew Bill felt very lucky to know him. And I had some wonderful times with him. He knew my husband also. And we used to live next door to all the Karmazins when the kids were little. And we used to pass the kids back and forth, right, Carol?
Over the fence.
Over the fence. And then we all moved to different parts of the country. And I met Bill again when I moved back, and I was in real estate, and he wanted to look at some houses, and he called me. And so I did see him because we would look at some properties. And I also was happy to get to know him pretty well. He was a wonderful man. And he always had such respect, I think, for everybody he met. I certainly felt he respected me, and he was so good to everybody. And thank you, Bill, for all you did for all of us. Bye. How do I go off?
Oh, that was lovely, Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye-bye.
I'd like to now hand it over to Sarah. Sarah, if you could lead us in a toast.
Yeah.
That's it, Mom.
Thank you all for joining us. Your stories are meaningful, and we've really enjoyed listening, and thank you so much for sharing them with us. The video that we created, we will send that out to you, and so you can view it again. I wasn't sure how the technology was working, but it's on my YouTube channel, so it's there and it'll be there forever. My father meant the world to me, and his loss is profound. It's been a really hard time for the last couple of weeks, but bringing me joy has been connecting with you all and hearing your stories and honoring his life. So thank you so much for spending time with us today. I'd just like to share a toast, make a toast to Bill, our dad, grandfather, friend, mate, partner, all of those things that I think Patty said it so well, man of all seasons. I don't know if anyone has champagne available, but we did. So I know he loved champagne, and we just wanted to make a toast. And so this is to Dad, Bill Karmazin. Thank you for being in our life. We will hold you in our hearts forever. Cheers.
Anti-inflammatory drink.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, all of you. What a beautiful celebration of life.
Everybody joining us, and for my sisters pulling all of this together. I so appreciate all of your efforts, and so sweet to see everybody.
You did a beautiful job putting it together.
Well, he wanted to have a party. I did ask him what he wanted to do.
Well, and I still feel so sad because I'm in a retirement place and they would not let us go to the hospital. So I just still feel so bad about that. But he was in my thoughts all the time, and I used to talk to him regularly. Thank you, Bill, for all the happiness you brought everybody. Look at how we're all here.
Well, maybe we can celebrate post-COVID next year.
Oh, yes.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up for Dad's celebration of life. He's brought so many memories to each and every one of us here in all the respective ways that Kira had spoken of. So many times having just walks around La Jolla with him. It was the walk of wisdom, because it seemed like every time there was a new story to be heard from him, a new experience to be heard, and just amazing thoughts that he brought into my life. I'll never forget a trip with John, Lisa, myself, and him down in South America. And that was an amazing trip. It really was. And I hold on to that one so dearly. And then having the opportunity to see a couple other continents as well, one before in Australia, and then later. So thankful that we were able to do that trip in Africa 9 years ago. That was an amazing journey. Anyways, lots of love to all of you. Thanks again for joining today. Toast to Bill.
I don't have a champagne glass here.
I know. Well, I think we'll just say goodbye and hold him in your hearts. And thank you for sharing this moment with us. I really appreciate all of you so much.
And thank you for putting together this wonderful video. I know it was very tearful as you were going along doing it.
Yeah, very well done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for organizing it under the circumstances. I mean, great.
Dad likes to get things done. Sarah and I. Gotta get things done.
Indeed. Beautiful.
Sophia, it's so good to see you, sweetheart.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for joining.
Is everybody on the screen that live currently in San Diego, or am I the only one living here, or what's the story?
Yeah, I think, well, Josh is coming in from New York.
Okay.
Sophia is in Boston. Nat, I think he was in Texas. Ron, where are you?
Dana Point.
Oh, okay, you're close. You're in
Yeah,
Dana.
I'm close. So we used to have lunch
good.
quite a bit.
It's in La Quinta.
Still here. Yep.
Where are you? Oh, Quinta.
Desert's in Colorado.
Oh, Desi's in Colorado. Right.
The rest of us are in San Diego.
We're trying to do the socially distant thing.
Kira, can you hear me? Well, Esther's in DC.
Oh, Esther. Yeah, sorry. Your name doesn't show up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Esther's in DC.
Right, or near DC, yeah.
Yeah, she's got the iPhone.
I'm gonna come visit you. I'm visiting you in Deepak. Can't wait to see you.
So I was going to just say the following. I know this was hard for everybody, but as soon as the COVID is over with, I hope soon, and we have the vaccine.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to be in San Diego. I'll look you up, Kara, and I think Sarah, Lisa, and
Lara.
Are you all in San Diego?
Yes.
Wow.
So I do come out to San Diego a lot, but lately I've not done that. So next time when I am there, I'll look you up and maybe we can have a, Pacifica Del Mar or something.
Oh, I would love that. That would be great.
Right. And if you're here in DC area, look up Paul, sorry, Esther and myself. You're welcome to come over to my house, and Lynn and I would welcome you. And if it's warm enough, then we can even go on a boat ride.
Oh, that's so great. I really remember that with such fondness.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye, I guess.
All right.
I hate to.
Yeah, I think we'll
Bye and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Desiree,
everyone, for carving out this time.
you did a great
We'll
job,
end the
too.
video now, but please look out in your email. We will follow up with that video of Grandpa Bill's photo albums. So
Oh,
you will receive
great.
that.
Thank you so much.
Check your email.
Oh, that's
Thank
wonderful.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so much.
It's a million.
Take care.
Especially Kira,
Bye.
you were great. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.